Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the May 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Aries. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your sun, moon, and rising signs. So take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which video's title resonates for you most at this particular time. So just to let you know, I'll be using the Celtic cross style spread using the intuitive tarot and clarifying further with the Rider-Waite. So Aries, let's get stuck into it. Apologies for this coming out a little later than I anticipated. Your video was supposed to come out much sooner. However, I had an issue with my external drive and I'm waiting for a diagnosis on that to see whether or not the data can be recovered, which is a big deal for me because pretty much my life is on that drive, and including your reading as well. So I'm having to do yours again the second time. So sorry for the delay. All right, so let's have a look then. Do one more shuffle. Okay. So what's going on in the month of May for Aries? And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who took a look at my live stream last Thursday when I was doing the, was it last Thursday or last Friday? Well, yeah, I think it was last Wednesday and last Thursday actually, when I did the live stream for the different elements, for the shadow work readings. So thank you so much for those of you who tuned in for that. It was a lot of fun. I am planning to do another live stream this Friday, and this will be general messages, okay? So it will just be dependent on whose energy I pick up when I do the individual signs. I will be doing it in groups. Each live stream will be based on the elements like I did before. So I hope you tune in for that. I will post an announcement video possibly today or tomorrow about the times, okay? So have a look at that to see what the time will be in your local time zone. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. So Aries, in regards to your present circumstances, you have the Fool card in reverse, okay? It's funny because I got this energy quite strongly for Taurus's reading, so you may be connected with a Taurus in some way. Either way, I feel like you're holding fire on something, you're hanging back, you're not acting upon something for a reason, either because something was brought to your attention or something is missing. There's some vital information that you don't currently have, so you're hanging back before you can take a step forward in this new direction. So when we clarify, we'll see what that could be. Possibly we'll get more insight as we continue with the general energies of this spread. So in regards to the recent past, you have the Page of Cups. Okay, so this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So you could be dealing with a water sign. Either way, I feel like in your past you felt ready to offer some kind of either support, emotional support, or you were ready to offer your love to someone. That's what I'm getting. You're either willing to provide emotional support to someone in their time of need, someone who needed to be understood, or you were ready to offer your love to a new person. Interesting. We'll look at that. So in regards to your near future, you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, so more water energy. Yeah, you're not willing to do that anymore. Before, in the past, you were willing to make that offer. Now you're withdrawing from that. You're holding back. You're not wanting this anymore. You're not wanting to offer this anymore. We'll have to look at why that is, but something has changed. That's what I'm getting. Something's really changed in the situation. In regards to your feelings, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So this is air energy. We're talking Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So you could be dealing with one of those signs. But anyway, in regards to your feelings, this is saying that, okay, don't take this the wrong way, but this is kind of like petulant kind of energy. Like you're not happy that you didn't get your own way, that things didn't go according to your plan. right? I'm not trying to be horrible, but this is just the energy I'm getting. You may have been a little bit selfish lately, a bit self-centered, only thinking about what you want. And because things didn't go according to your plan, you're basically wanting to take heads. You're pissed off, you're wanting to take heads. You're like, this is not what I wanted. This is what I was trying to do, and I'm not getting it. This person's not what I thought they were. They are not what I want. I expected them to be this, this, and this, and they're not that, and they're not going in this direction. I want them to go in this direction. They're not doing that. So I'm cutting them off. I don't want them anymore. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. I'm just being honest, okay? So if this doesn't apply for you, if you feel like that's really not my energy, that's fine. Then that's not your reading. But I feel like for whoever this is for, that's what you're doing. If you're being honest with yourself, you're like, this didn't meet my criteria, so I don't want it anymore, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on what it is, like what you're judging this person on, or what you're judging the situation on, right? What are the variables? Sorry, it's getting a bit warm in here, so I'm just going to turn the heating off because it was a little bit chilly a minute ago. So that's what I'm getting. You're like, you know, this isn't what I had in mind. This isn't what I wanted, you know. So I'm just withdrawing, like I just don't want it, essentially. I don't feel like you're necessarily being horrible or harsh to this person. I don't get that. I don't feel like you're like you've just literally ghosted this person necessarily, if this is in regards to a person. But I feel like you're just kind of like, nah, this doesn't feel right to me anymore. I don't want it anymore, because I thought it'd be like this and it's not like this, so why should I want this anymore? That's kind of what I'm getting. But we'll look at that when we clarify. It's just the initial energy. It's like, yeah, it's not so great. No, I don't want it anymore. I don't want you anymore. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's harsh, but okay, we'll have a look at that. So in regards to your advice, you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Could easily be dealing with a water sign because you have 3 prominent water energies so far. But either way, it's like your advice is to stop allowing yourself to get so like overwhelmed by things, I guess. That's what I'm getting, like to not be in this space where you're like, well, I didn't get things my way. This didn't happen exactly as I imagined, or this person is doing this, that, and the other, or I thought things would come into play this way. I thought things would come together in this way. It didn't happen. It wasn't my vision. It wasn't what I wanted. I can't move forward like this. So rather than reacting emotionally to it, or rather allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by the feelings of disappointment, you got to look at how you can best balance that out, how you can look at the positives in the situation, how you can use this energy and turn it around, right? It's like, okay, things didn't go according to plan, or, you know, this move, I can't make this move forward because it doesn't make me happy, right? Or perhaps there was something that you invested in emotionally before that did make you happy, and then when you walked away from it to try and start something new, you realized you couldn't, and that's making you unhappy. You're disappointed because the new adventure didn't come about as you hoped, right? And now you're being forced to revisit the past and what made you happy to begin with. So it's going to be different in different places, right, for different people. But for some of you, it's like you try to start something new and it just didn't come together. For some of you, you thought that by leaving something from the past in your past and moving forward would make you happy, but it didn't. And now it's rattled you emotionally, it's pissed you off mentally as well. And you're having to look at why you have such strong emotions to this, why it's provoked such a strong emotional reaction, because you need to, you need to not allow your emotions to get out of control, right? Particularly because you guys are Aries. Like when things bother you, it really bothers you. Like you're very affected by things that piss you off, by things that have an emotional charge for you, right? A lot of people are seeing like, oh, it's just, water signs that get very emotional, but it's not true. Like when you guys are pissed off, like you're really pissed off. When you're happy, you're really happy. When you're in love, you're so in love, right? You feel things in the extremes generally, I feel, especially you Aries. You go all in, That's what I get from it. You jump head first. But in this circumstance, you're not doing that because things didn't turn out the way you expected, essentially. So in regards to your external influences, you have the Seven of Swords, okay? So this can be people, places, circumstances, your environment, things around you at this time, okay? Seven of Swords, deception, lies, manipulation, scheming, self-deception, okay? So maybe the people around you that you thought would be more aligned to you are not. They're not of the energy you thought they would be. Maybe a new relationship that you embarked on, you thought would bring you the happiness that you were seeking, did not give you what you wanted. Perhaps you started some new journey, okay, with that. I feel like you started something new and it didn't quite come together. So maybe you were trying to start a new life elsewhere and it's just not coming together in the way you imagined. But we'll look at that when we clarify, as I said. So in regards to, so in regards to your fears at this time, you have the King of Pentacles. So Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could be dealing with any of those signs. As I said, the Fool in reverse came up strongly in Taurus's reading. So you could very well be dealing with a Taurus or connected to a Taurus in some shape or form. Either way, I feel like you're afraid that your stability is going to be just knocked down by this situation. You know, like I felt really good recently. Like I felt very much in control. I felt very grounded, very balanced. You know, I felt very affluent. I felt very abundant. I felt like I had my shit together. I felt like I had my life down. That, you know, mentally, emotionally, financially, I was secure. I was balanced. I was grounded, right? But now I'm scared that this situation is making me feel like I'm going back down the spiral again. That things are not balanced, that I don't have the abundance I once had, that I don't have the emotional fulfillment I once had. You know, that my energy is just zapped, essentially. So again, we'll look at that. In regards to your hopes, King of Cups, interesting, King and Queen. So there's some energetic connection here between you and another, for sure. But either way, I feel like for yourself, this is definitely representing your shadow and this is representing your higher self, right? That your advice is that don't allow your shadow to zap your energy further, to really pull you in this low frequency where your emotions are just running amok and you're just out of control, essentially, right? That you're just responding and reacting from an emotional place, right? Ground yourself, allow yourself to be emotionally balanced, you know, take control. You have the ability to rein your emotions in, right? Rather than, like I said, that petulant energy where you're just lashing out because you didn't get your cake, right? To eat it. Maybe you need to take a more grounded approach. So you need to look at this from a more wise perspective. Why didn't it come together? Question that. Why didn't it come together? Did I choose something that wasn't actually aligned for me? Did I take a direction that was a shortcut rather than, well, that seemed like it would be a shortcut but wasn't, that actually took me down the wrong path, that's not actually aligned to what I wanted? You know, these are the kinds of questions you need to consider. Is there a lesson in this perhaps? Or perhaps I'm not quite ready for that yet. Maybe there's something else I need to look at. These are the kinds of things you need to look at. From the King of Cups energy, that's where you would be looking, okay? That's the kind of questions you'd be asking yourself. Like, why am I so emotionally affected about it? What is it that makes me so unhappy? And why has this happened, you know? What could I have changed? What will I change moving forward? What will be my next step? How can I make myself happy again? Right? That's the King of Cups energy. I forgot to mention what's crowning you at this time is the Two of Pentacles, so more earth energy. This is, this juggling act, you know, your shadow and your higher self fighting for your attention, pretty much. That's what I feel like. Because I feel like your shadow is just kind of indignant and, you know, just screaming its, you know, injustice, right? How dare this happen to me? How can this happen to me? Why did things not go the way I anticipated? Life fucking doesn't, right? They're just saying, like, a lot of the time it just doesn't. It doesn't go how you anticipate it to be. It goes how it needs to go, right? because of X, Y, and Z. There's so many variables involved that it's not even funny. So you're not always going to have a clear vision or a clear idea of why exactly things panned out the way they did. Sometimes you realize that later down the line. Sometimes it's quite evident quite early on. Sometimes you'll never get to the heart of it, right? But you have to kind of come to the acceptance, right? Which is, again, King of Cups energy. That shit happens. Some things are seemingly outside our control. With all the will in the world, sometimes things do not come together because in that moment they were not aligned for us, right? Because something else needed to happen first, or someone else wasn't willing to take that path with you, or, you know, there was something else you were overlooking, or you took a wrong turn and that led to something completely different. You know, it can be so many different situations that can play out, right? But either way, it's like trying to juggle your shadow and your higher self, and to bring them, you're fighting to try and bring yourself back in alignment, back in balance, like I said. Because right now you're just doing this, like, you know, kind of going between problem solving and just being, you know, outraged, essentially, being pissed off that things didn't go the way you had planned, right? And I get it is frustrating when things don't go to your plan. I understand that. You know, it is annoying, especially when you've invested a lot of time and energy into trying to make something happen and trying to make improvements in your life, some kind of change, and it just doesn't happen. I get that. Like, I totally understand that. You know, I've been there myself more times than I can count. But does that mean you should give up? Does that mean that you should just be like, you know, screaming at the world and saying, well, fuck you then, I'm just gonna not care anymore and stop trying? No, you just have your moment, you know. If you have to, like, scream or cry or just, like, you know, just kind of jump around, dance, whatever you need to do, you know, go to the gym, sweat it out, whatever you need to do that's gonna help you release this in a healthy way, do it. And then once you've had your moment, just being like, okay, I've got that out of my energy field, I've got that out of my system, I've released those emotions. What can I do to change it, right? What can I do to bring happiness back into my life again? That's the kind of space you've got to come from. And then with the possible outcome, you have the Tower. So what was once broken will be rebuilt in a firmer, more solid foundation, right? So all is not lost. That's the key message here. All is not lost. Just because things didn't come together the way you'd planned, just because things, you didn't get what you initially asked for, or because the grass wasn't greener on the other side, or whatever it was, right? That doesn't mean all is lost, all hope is lost. What was once destroyed can be rebuilt. That's what it's reminding you, okay? Okay, let's then clarify. I felt like I had to go into mum mode then, so sorry if that's not your thing, Aries, but I felt like that's what needed to happen. You really brought out that mama hen energy in me, you know, and I very much have that aspect of my character, you know. It's very much part of my personality to do that when needed, you know. And sometimes I got to do that for you guys, just as much as, you know, my closest friends and certain family members have to do that for me, you know. Everyone needs that once in a while, and it's not to harm you, it's not to upset you, it's not to point the finger at you, it's just to show you, like, listen, like, things happen, okay? But that doesn't mean you just take it lying down, and it doesn't mean that you can't turn things around, that you can't make positive changes, right? So sometimes you do have to give people tough love, a bit of a kick up the butt, you know, to kind of shake them out of the apathy and back into problem-solving mode, you know? And like I said, you're allowed to feel emotions. You're allowed to be upset by something. And, you know, just get it out of your system. Don't hold it back. Allow yourself to feel it. Express it. Get it out. And then you can move forward, right? So don't feel like you have to keep it trapped within yourself either, because that's not healthy for you, Aries, okay? All right, so let's have a look then. Let's clarify. So in regards to your present circumstances, the Fool card in reverse here, you have the Three of Cups, the Three of Swords. I wish it was the Three of Cups compared to this, the Three of Swords, and yeah, the King of Swords in reverse. So air energy prominently there. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So yeah, fuck. You can't move on because there's something that still hurts. There's something you're still missing. You're still very much, that's heartbreak. That's emotional pain. That's like suffering, emotional suffering. It's something you can't get past. It's still very much on your mind. It's still very much in your heart space. It's trapped there, this pain. And you can't release, you don't know how to free yourself from it. You don't know how to release it. That's why you're struggling to move on, because there's a blockage in your heart space, because there's something you're missing dearly, or something that you feel like you couldn't bring into fruition, something you try to manifest and it didn't come together, and that caused you a lot of pain. So you don't know how to free yourself from that pain, essentially. In regards to your recent past, the the Page of Cups here. You have the Justice card, so Libra energy, could be dealing with a Libra, and you have the 8 of Cups. So yeah, even though you walked away from something that you loved, or something you really cared about, something that made you feel good, that's something that you had that felt very fair, very balanced, there was a lot of equal give and take, right, with the Justice there. It was something that you felt was like, it was the situation that felt right to you at the time. It felt, like I said, very balanced, very just fair. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's so balanced, so fair. It was equal give and take, right? And you were very emotionally invested in this situation, right? You may have started in a very small way, I feel, but over time you accumulated a lot of emotions, a lot of love in this connection, right? Because I feel like this must be a connection of some description. It doesn't have to be a romantic one, but there's someone you really cared about. And over time, I feel like it started very small. It started very playful and harmless and childlike, right? It started off very innocent. And then over time, the emotions grew, right? And the attachment grew. And, while things were very balanced, I feel like there was a lot of love in general in the connection. It was very balanced in that way. It was equal give and take. You loved this person and they loved you just as much. But maybe because of the attachment, because you didn't want to feel attached to anything, right? Because of the loss that comes with attachment, you chose to walk your way to free yourself from that attachment, whatever it was. And do the introspective work to work on yourself, to heal your wounds, right? From whatever situation, from your childhood, from your adolescence, your adult life, right? Because you felt like you had to go off and find yourself. You had to go off and heal, right? Even though you knew it meant walking away from all of these cups, all of these things that gave you so much emotional fulfillment. You still felt like there was something worth pursuing out there, something better, something that was even more emotionally fulfilling, or that was going to help you heal, right? But it didn't come together in the way you imagined, whatever it was. So in regards to your near future, the Ace of Cups in reverse here, you have the Page of Wands in reverse, so your energy, fire energy, and you also have the Two of Swords, air energy. You knew you had to make a decision because you're not happy, you can't move forward, you can't emotionally invest in this new beginning that you would try to manifest for yourself. You may have made, I feel like you did, obviously, with you walking away from something, you moved towards something else, but it did not give you the emotional fulfillment you thought it would. You thought that when you left the 8 cups behind, yeah, this is what I'm getting. You offered 1 cup, this small something to a situation, to an individual. You then accumulated 8 more, so you were at the 9 cups. You thought your 10th cup will come from elsewhere, so you walked away from your 9 cups. However, what you've come to realize is that your 10th cup did not come from this new beginning. And now you just feel like, what did I risk it all for? I've now got no cups, right? That's what I feel like. So now, in your near future, you're having to look at the situation and how you truly feel about it. And you were just like, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth taking that risk, because I don't even feel excitement anymore. I don't feel any passion. I just feel numb because I've lost all of my cups. It was a bad gamble, essentially. I took a risk and it failed, like I took a risk and it didn't come together. That's what I'm getting. So now I have to decide where I go from here. What do I do now? Do I continue down this path and hope that it will lead me to calmer waters, to better days, right? That I'll be able to feel again? Or do I backtrack and see what I should have done, or, what I can do to try and rectify this situation, or what I can do to, find emotional fulfillment in a different direction, a new direction altogether. So there you are. Okay, in regards to your feelings then, with the Queen of Swords in reverse, I've just seen that as well. You've got a pair here. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. And that's interesting because you also had the Queen of Cups in the reverse and the King of Cups in the upright, but both of these are in reverse. So that's very interesting. So yeah, I feel like there's maybe a possible mirroring going on with you and this person that you're dealing with from the past anyway. But like I said, going into your emotions at this time, the Queen of Swords in reverse, you have the Four of Pentacles in the upright, and you have the Eight of Swords in the upright. So earth and air energy. Yeah, you're kind of having a bit of a tantrum because you're refusing to let go of this attachment. Even though you said to yourself, I'm going off and doing this thing so I can release myself from this connection, this attachment, this energetic tie I have with this person from the past. You have not done that at all. In your, in your unconscious state of being, you're holding on for dear life. You are refusing to let go of this person energetically. So that's creating blockages for yourself, and that's also creating blockages for this person, right? Just be aware of that. You're not willing to let go, to detach yourself fully. Because you're like, I think because deep down you knew that this situation wasn't going to bring you all of the happiness that you thought it would, right? So when it didn't happen, because it was like self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, I know it's not going to happen, but I want to try anyway. And then it didn't happen. And then you're pissed off because you're like, I knew this wasn't going to happen. Why didn't it happen though? It's like, well, you told yourself it wasn't going to happen, right? So that was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy. But also, more than that, not only was it a self-fulfilling prophecy, it was also the fact that this cup that you were going after wasn't actually aligned with what you truly wanted. You thought it would. You thought it was a part of what you really wanted. Maybe because you lost a sense of self, maybe because you lost confidence in your abilities, confidence in, the situation you was in, whatever form it took, right? So you went after it and you just ended up bringing that attachment with you anyway, right? And now you're feeling very much stuck in your head. You're like, I don't know how to free myself from this. I just can't. I keep trying. I keep looking at new ways to try and detach from this connection, but I don't know how. I can't free myself from this, and it just hurts too much. So yeah, that's a hard energy, Aries, to deal with. But, I feel like clarity will come soon. You will come to understand how you can free yourself, how you can release yourself from the attachment. But it's a process. You're going through the process, right? You had the kind of, you had the tower moment where you realized that things did not come together as you imagined. And you're having to release yourself from this situation for good, but also backtrack and see where you may have been self-sabotaging or, deceiving yourself in some way and kidding yourself, in denial of what it is you actually feel. Okay. So in regards to what's crowning you at this time, so what's within your power to affect, the Two of Pentacles here. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse again, and you have the Hermit card. So Virgo energy, could be dealing with a Virgo, or have it in your chart prominently. But either way, it's like saying, you know, you are going between your shadow self and your higher self's influence, right? You're kind of very much, your ego is like yo-yo. Sorry if you can hear my stomach, I need to eat soon. So your shadow self and your ego is kind of, well, sorry, your ego is kind of bouncing between, you know, the will of your shadow and the will of your higher self. So you're just feeling like a pinball at the moment, going back and forth, right? But ultimately, it's like all your shadow can think of and focus on is how much you've lost, right? How emotionally affected you are, how much you've lost, how bad everything is, how disappointing it all is, you know, how regretful or remorseful you are, right? But your higher self is like, God damn it, just take a moment, right? Stop like getting so caught up in this apathetic way of looking at things, you know, this even nihilistic way of looking at things. Yes, you're hurt. Yes, you're, you know, you've been through some pain here. But, you know, that doesn't mean you can't do something about it. That doesn't mean there isn't an answer. There isn't a solution. You have to go within for that, though. And you need to be completely objective and honest about what it is that you actually want at this point. Because what you thought you want, you don't want anymore. So you're now having to look at it again, right? Readdress this. So that's the thing. Okay, in regards to your advice here, the Queen of Cups in reverse, you have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, and you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So you so much mirroring in this reading, you know, as above, so below energies here. You know, you have the Seven of Swords in the upright in your external influences, and then in your advice, you have it in reverse. So that tells you everything. Stop with the self-sabotage and the self-deception, pretty much. I'm not getting that it's from others. I feel like this is very much you, your shadow, right? Especially with it clarified with the Devil here. That's definitely talking about your shadow aspect. The illusion, the deception, right? This screams of deception. Wake up to the deception, right? That there is no one else that's causing your misery, right? This comes from within. You are not being authentic. You're not being honest about what it is that you want, right? You allowing your emotions to get the better of you isn't going to serve you, essentially. It's going to keep you trapped in this energy, right? It's going to keep you trapped in a low vibration. It's not necessary. What are you afraid of? Release yourself from this, okay? The first thing to do to help you release yourself from that is to be honest with yourself. What is it? How do you truly feel? What is it you really want? Be honest with yourself. And then you can be honest with those that are attached to this situation, okay? That are connected to it, that are part of it in some way, okay? So that's the advice here. Very, very clear messages. So in regards to your external influences, as I said, the Seven of Swords in the upright. You have the Moon in reverse, Pisces energy. Could be dealing with the Pisces quite easily. You have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Earth energy. And you have the Ten of Cups, so water energy. So facing the deception, that I don't want to invest into a long-term commitment. I don't want to settle down, have kids, be singing Kumbaya with my family around a campfire. You're telling yourself that's not what you want, but the truth is being revealed. The illusion is falling. The mask is coming down. You're like, I'm not prepared to invest in this because that's not what I want. The truth is that is what you want. And you're waking up to it. You thought you didn't want this, but you do. And so does the person you're dealing with. Maybe you both were deceiving yourself in that way. Maybe you thought for a long time, like, I don't want to settle down. I don't care. I just want to live carefree. I just want to live my life. You know, I don't need to be in a relationship. I don't need to be in a long-term commitment. I don't need to be in a marriage. You know, I'm quite happy on my own. I'm quite happy just casual dating. I'm happy just in a, you know, light-hearted relationship. No, you're not. You want something long term, you want something longevity. You don't necessarily have to want kids and, you know, the 2.4 whole, you know, 2.4 children set up, but you certainly want commitment. You certainly want longevity with another. You want to settle down in some capacity, right? That's what's coming out. Can't lie to yourself anymore. And you certainly can't lie to this person from the past, because the truth is coming out. It's coming to their awareness and yours that you both want this, right? Whether it's with each other or in general. So in regards to, in regards to your fears here, you have the King of Pentacles in reverse, as we said. You have clarifying that though, the Strength card in reverse, so Leo energy. The Knight of Wands in reverse, so more fire, your energy. And you have the Tower in reverse again. I cannot believe how many of the cards have repeated themselves in this reading. It's like the message is being like drilled home. No wonder I'm in this energy of like, for God's sake, like, will you just listen to the signs? Like, it's literally the universe is screaming that through me, because look at this. You just got so many cards mirroring. It's just ridiculous. You know, just certain cards coming up again and again. It's unbelievable. Anyway. So yeah, this is the point. You're feeling out of your power. You're feeling like things are unstable. You're not feeling stable. You're feeling very self-conscious. You're feeling worried about your finances. You're worried about, you know, this direction that you've been taking, this career choice, relationship choices, whatever it is, right, that you've been doing recently. And now you're just in a case of like, I'm actually afraid. I'm really afraid. I don't know what's going to happen, because this is not what I thought it would be. Nothing's gone to plan. Nothing's been how I imagined it to be. And now that this has come into my awareness of what I actually want, I don't know what to do. Like, this is terrifying. So like, I'm not in, like, normally you would maybe be in this energy where you're like feeling playful, confident, carefree, not really giving too much shits about anything, just wanting to enjoy yourself, enjoy life in every shape or form that comes in. You're not feeling that now. Now you're terrified. You're like, oh my gosh, like, I used to be so carefree. I used to not give a crap about anything and just do what I want, but I can't do that anymore. How do I get back to this energy? The answer is you can't. You've changed. Situation has changed. You're not the old version of yourself. I had a reading like this for you before. It was a shadow work reading that I did months ago. And the card, I remember clearly, the card you got was, Is This Me? From the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. I'll try and link it if I can find the video for you again, because even though it was months ago, it's still, the energies can still be relevant and they can be timeless. It doesn't matter that it's assigned to a certain month. These energies can come up time and time again, depending on its relevance to you, right? So this is it. It's that energy of you having to confront the fact that you are not the same person you used to be. You're not in this energy anymore. You are moving towards this energy. So you're having a hard time dealing with that aspect as well. And then in regards to your hopes, the King of Cups energy, you have, that's exactly it. Can I just take a moment, right? This was you, and this is what you're becoming. Can you, sorry, this is not the card I wanted. Oh my gosh, sorry. Aha, okay, this is the card I wanted. This was you. This is what you're becoming. Can you see the difference, right? Look at how grounded he is. Look at how emotionally available yet stable he is. You know, this is husband material right here. Or, well, you can be a woman. This is not about gender, okay? It's just the King of Cups. That's why I said he, right? But this is just the divine masculine energy being very much in tune with their emotions, but very grounded, right? The divine masculine here is not in the player energy anymore, right? You used to be like this once upon a time, but you're not in that energy anymore. You're not in that playful energy anymore. You're not in that carefree, don't give a fuck, YOLO energy anymore, right? You're moving towards this, and this is what you want, right? So what you have clarifying the King of Cups here, let me put that there. You have the Page of Cups in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and you have the Magician. Boom. Wow, this came up for Taurus as well. Oh my God, some of you are dealing with an earth sign. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus. Okay, some of you are dealing with a Taurus. Not everyone, but I'm just saying. Or a Virgo. Or someone who has Taurus and Virgo in their charts. Or water, okay? Water signs. But either way, right? You are manifesting. You are, okay, let me just pause. What you're hoping to manifest, not what you're actually manifesting, but what you're hoping to manifest is a means to free yourself from this connection. You are trying to, what you're hoping you can do is manifest a way out of this emotional attachment that you have to this person from the past. You're like, because bearing in mind, in the past, you were like, I want to give this a try. I want a fresh start with this person. Maybe you were you're the one pursuing the connection, right, initially. But now you want to detach. You're like, I don't want this anymore. I want to get away from this. You're hoping that by emotionally grounding and stabilizing yourself and being in the King of Cups energy, that you can then manifest a means to detach completely emotionally from this person. You want to, I feel like there might have been an emotional commitment made, energetic commitment. Maybe there was some kind of soul contract or astral, what's the word I'm looking for? But like a soul level contract or commitment made, right? To this person. You may not have actually got married, but I feel like astrally you made a commitment to one another and you're trying to break that astral commitment, this soul level commitment. You're looking for a way to manifest a means to disconnect from this person, to energetically cut off this tie. That's what you're hoping for, because you think that's the answer. Oh, I'll be able to embark this new chapter. I'll be able to go full steam ahead and everything will be hunky-dory once I can just cut this soul contract with this person. That's what you're hoping for, and that's what you think is the answer. But I don't know. I'm not convinced. But who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe that is the answer. Only time will tell, right? So in regards to your potential outcome, the Tower in reverse here, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse and you have the King of Pentacles in reverse again. So this is it. I don't think, like, just from that alone, that doesn't tell me that's the answer. If that's what you want to do and you feel like that's what you need to do, then go ahead. Of course, it's not my place to tell you what to do. But from just what the energies are showing and what I see here, that's not the answer. That's not going to help you rebuild, right? Because you're coming from a place where you don't want to feel like, you know, you don't want to you essentially don't want to build from a place where you're reminded of your wounds, where, you know, you're having to start from scratch, even though you've been through so much with this connection, right? You don't want to go through any of that again, pretty much. You don't want to make yourself vulnerable. You don't want to take a chance on rebuilding with this person, or rebuilding a structure, you know, using those remnants, right? You're not wanting to do that. But at the same time, by trying to avoid that, it doesn't bring you any closer to being in the energy that you want to be in. But feeling grounded, stable, self-assured, independent, reliable, abundant, financially secure, right? It just creates further blockages is what I'm seeing. So Aries, that's something you have to be aware of. Like I said, I don't know your circumstances. I don't know your history with whoever you gave your cup to back in the past, right? But I feel like there's some things within this that needs to be addressed honestly and openly, head on with this person. And then you can find some kind of closure. Maybe that's what you need. You need proper closure, and then you can move on. Or perhaps the real thing here is that you're not wanting to release the person fully, actually. You're hoping you can because you think that will make things easier for you and you think that will make you happy, but ultimately deep in your heart, and your soul knows it too, your higher self knows it, that that's not truly what you want. What you want is actually a commitment with this person. But like I said, it can apply either way. Only you know your circumstances, which one that applies to your circumstances. So just take it however it resonates, okay? If it does. So Aries, I hope that helped. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yeah, I'll be doing another reading for you guys very soon. I'll be doing the general messages live on Friday. So do keep an eye out for the announcement video, possibly tonight, maybe tomorrow, in regards to that and what the local time will be for yourself. And yeah, I hope to see you on my channel again soon. I hope to see you participating in the live. It will be lots of fun. And yeah, I wish you all the best in this situation, whatever you do. I am sending you lots of love, even after all that tough love I just gave you, because I want the best for you, okay? I just want you to know that self-deception in any form isn't going to help you. Only the truth will, okay? Release you. So sending you lots of love, lots of encouragement, lots of strength, and I will speak to you soon.